Oh my gosh, it's a little.
In today's video, we're going to be testing out the Sinus Saver. Now, if you're watching this video, you've probably already looked up the Sinus Saver or you're considering seeing if it's worth you getting. Now, what is the Sinus Saver? What it's supposed to do is it's supposed to prevent water from going up your nose, like a nose clip. But the difference between this and a nose clip is a nose clip is going to go on the outside of your nose, kind of like this. And what it does is it pinches your nose shut. Now what this is supposed to do is it's supposed to kind of block water from coming in your nose by going in your nose like this. We're going to be getting a little more personal when I actually have to shove this up my nose. The reason why it's so favorable within the mermaid community or within the aquatic community is that it makes it look kind of more invisible. Like we said earlier, a nose clip kind of pinches your nose and brings your nose more flat. This is supposed to keep more of that natural shape of your nose. Now, if you're wondering how to size for these things, it's kind of funny how you have to size or find the proper size for the Sinus Saver. It does come in multiple sizes. The way that you figure out your size is you're going to take Q-tips and you're going to see how many Q-tips you can put in your nose on one side. Based on how many Q-tips that you're able to fit in one of your nostrils determines the size that you're going to pick. What the Sinus Saver looks like, as you can see, you have your two little sides right there. Here, let me make this so it'll focus. So you have those two little sides right there, and then you have this bottom part that's going to be sticking outside your nose. Now, a little bit more personal information about me is that I personally don't use nose clips unless I'm learning something for the first time. And the reason why is because I want to take out a variable that could affect the way that I'm learning. So I take out the variable of water going up my nose so that I can learn the flip, trick, or new skill. It would be nice to be able to have something that looks more natural and give my nose a break once in a while of getting water shot up it every time I go upside down or do flips or things like that. Plus, this would also be very helpful if I go in natural bodies of water that may have like bacteria or things in it that I really don't want to get up my nose. This is going to be a great tool if it helps me prevent those things in the future. So I'm going to get all packed up and we're going to meet right back at the pool where I'm going to try to put this in. Okay, so I just got down to the pool. I'm in the pool. Have the Sinus Saver. I did have to cut it down because I did try it on, so you can see like I kind of cut it right there. Oh man. Let's go. Okay, so I got it. Probably everyone thought I was picking my nose if they were looking out the window, but it's kind of like bowl looking ring thing. It reminds me of that one movie, you know, the girl with the pig nose named Penelope. I kind of look like that right now, or I feel like that because my nose is like being pushed out. I feel like comfortable, but at the same time it feels uncomfortable because I'm so used to swimming without something plugging my nose. Because when I go underwater, sometimes I let out air through my nose to kind of go into neutral buoyancy. So this might be a challenge and I might have to get used to just blowing air out my mouth instead of pushing it out through my nose, but we're gonna try it. I will say that I'm not really feeling any water going up my nose, but the next part is we're going to be doing some flips and some things like that to see like how well it holds up. Give a little update. It's holding really well. You are able to still like blow air out your nose if needed. It did come out a little bit when I did do that, so just be very careful if you do decide to do that, that it's going to possibly like potentially come out. But it's staying pretty well. I'm doing like fast turns, fast flips, and things like that to see like how well it holds in by doing all these like high intensity things. take it out. Oh my. I will say your nose after wearing this, oh my gosh, is a little sore, but it's more along the lines of sore because it's been stretched, like your nostrils have been stretched out. So before I head upstairs, I'm going to do a little more swimming without this. So I'll see you guys once I get done swimming. For the final points with the Sinus Saver. Now, everything that I'm saying in this part is my own personal opinion based on testing it out for the first time. I've never tried a Sinus Saver, but I have tried nose clips in the past, so this was a full new experience for me when I tried this. Now, I will say that when I first went into trying it, I was very skeptical because I was scared that water would seep in through the sides and then it would get between my nose, like the inside of my nose, and the Sinus Saver, and then I would just constantly be having like that little bit of water burning. But I was very surprised that no water got in, and if there happened to be any, I was still able to like blow my nose out a little bit, and little bubbles of air were able to escape from this. But it did stop anything from going in, such as the water. It did have like that natural look, but I did also feel that it puffed my nose out just a little bit. And when I first was trying it on before I went down to the pool to make sure that it fit, because I didn't want to go down to the pool and then it didn't fit. That's why I had to cut it a couple times to make the sides kind of a little more shorter right there so that I didn't have anything hanging out. So I will say that when you do get your Sinus Saver, test it out, make sure it fits, and if you need to cut it, you can, because everyone's nose is different. Everyone has a different shape, everyone has like different grooves, and sometimes a large may fit this part or a medium may fit this part, but the large is not going to fit the length of the silicone like covering piece that goes over and actually seals. So it's very important that you test it out and then shape it to your nose if needed. Overall, this did keep the water out. It was very uncomfortable to put in, I will say, because I have those little grooves like on my nose. Inside your nose you have like kind of those little pieces that kind of stick out a little bit, and it kept getting caught on that piece every time I put it in. I felt like it was gonna get stuck inside my nose and I was just gonna have to go to the emergency room and tell them like, oh yeah, I was testing this out, and then have the embarrassment of having this removed from my nose, kind of like a kid when they shove crayons up their nose and it gets stuck, or a Lego piece or something like that. I was scared that that was going to happen to me with this. I probably will continue to use this in the future. I don't know if I would use this over a nose clip. It just depends. I will say that also when I did go upside down, I would feel pressure in my nose because there was that gap of air. Kind of like when you're wearing like a full snorkel mask and you go deeper underwater, you feel that pressure and you have to relieve it. I did have to relieve that pressure a couple times when I did go underwater and do flips, because I would just feel my nose kind of compress and I would feel there's more pressure in my nose, and I would just have to blow out a little air from my nose to relieve the pressure. So if you plan on going like deeper underwater with this, I probably would not suggest wearing this while going like in deeper depths than like a regular swimming pool. That's one other thing to consider, is that you will have to get used to that feeling. But I didn't really feel much uncomfortableness with the Sinus Saver itself. If you are looking for something that's a little less conspicuous than such as a nose clip that plugs your nose like this might be a great tool for you to have in your like water sport bag. Now I don't surf, so I can't really say if this is going to be 100% working for surfing, which is above the water, but for underwater purposes, this worked really well. This is definitely going to help me in the future when I am learning like new different flips or tricks, or I want to focus on form and I don't really want to focus on the water going up my nose and having to worry about getting used to the water going up my nose and dealing with that. And then this. Overall, I hope all this information helped you make a decision whether or not you want to purchase the Sinus Saver and try it out yourself. If you would like me to test out any more products that are related to like water, aquatics, makeup, or anything like that, you can put it down in the description below. Or if you have any other questions, I'll put that in the description below. I'll also put a link for the Sinus Saver below. Now there are different sizes, so just like I said, double check your size to make sure that the one you're getting is going to fit for you. And then if you need to cut it like I did, you can. Thank you guys so much for watching this video on the Sinus Saver.